Strategy announced a massive $21 billion at the market stock offering to buy more Bitcoin. This is despite a $4.2 billion quarter one net loss. The net loss was mainly from a $5.9 billion unrealized hit on its Bitcoin under new fair value accounting rules. However, the company insists it's making progress. It now holds 553,555 Bitcoin and is setting aggressive Bitcoin yield targets of 25% for 2025. The CEO, Phong Le, says Strategy is leading the corporate Bitcoin treasury wave with over 70 public companies now following the model. And
Can I just jump in for a sec, David? Just the BTC yield target, it's always been a bit confusing to me. So they've got a BTC yield target of 25% for 2025. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but my understanding is that when they say Bitcoin yield, they're not actually talking about earning yield from Bitcoin. Rather, they're talking about using their stock sales and debt to buy more Bitcoin, which is pumping up their balance sheet. They're not generating organic returns. And when they do that, when they add more Bitcoin to their balance sheet, each share effectively gives investors exposure to more BTC per share. So I guess that's how they're coming up with this term Bitcoin yield. Is that your understanding of how this works?
Basically, yeah, that's how I understand it. It's not yield as we would usually call it.
Not in the crypto world, like staking yield or
yeah. I'm not sure if they even call it, if this is how they call yield in TradFi. I'd have to research on that. It's a term of art that I haven't heard applied like this before. So,
yeah, I consider these Bitcoin corporate treasuries' use of Bitcoin yield as a metric to be kind of a marketing spin, actually.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Last point, CFO Andrew Kang pointed out that even though the quarter one closed with unrealized losses, the fair value accounting change actually boosted the retained earnings by $12.7 billion. And so, yeah, they are buying more Bitcoin and they see themselves at the forefront of this kind of corporate treasury strategy. That is the basic story.
Yeah, and so with this new $21 billion at the market stock offering, right, to buy, basically they're raising $21 billion to buy more Bitcoin. I guess, the implication here is that it's just putting more pressure on other Bitcoin corporate treasury companies to up their game, I guess.
Yeah. It's also, I wonder, do you have any reservations whether they're going to be able to raise the $21 billion?
Well, yeah, certainly that's an interesting question, right? Their past money raising attempts were sold out instantly. Like they were able to raise the money easily. So this, if they're not in this case, that will be a pretty strong signal, I think. If they're not able to raise the money.
Also, like we've talked about before, this strategy, it produces less of the yield that they're talking about as the pot of Bitcoin grows bigger and bigger, right? It's harder and harder to get a higher gain on your Bitcoin per share or whatever. So if you're an investor, you could look at it two ways. You could say, oh, well, strategy's maybe the safest one to do, although that's debatable now as they keep selling more equity for this. But also you have to think, but your potential return on investment is lower than some of these other companies who have a smaller amount of Bitcoin to start with.